All right, it's happening. Google's market share dipped below 90% for the first time in over a decade. In December of 2024, Google's market share dipped under 90%, signaling a new change in how users are interacting with search and AI. As we've been predicting on this channel, AI search is a growing trend. And if you don't believe me, go ahead and GPT yourself or your business and see what comes up. If something good comes up, well, make it better. You're in the future of search. If nothing good comes up, well, believe me, you may be left in the dust, and this is a critical time for your business to act now. So here's some reasons why AI search is chipping away at Google's market share. So we're seeing improved AI-powered alternatives. So GPT's Perplexity provide direct user interactions in a conversational format, reducing the need for users to navigate traditional search pages and spend countless hours just going back to square one. Have you ever done a search and you just end up starting all over again because you don't really know exactly what you're looking for and you're trying to balance those expectations? This is leading to a lot of user frustration with Google. Perception of declining quality in Google search results, including unhelpful links and the barrage of ads people are seeing on Google. This may have turned off some users and pushed them to other alternatives. We also have to take into consideration that Google is only the Western equivalent. There are a ton of other people out there that speak different languages outside of Latin-based languages, such as Yandex in Russia and Baidu are chipping away at market share, as those local markets are going to those search engines because they probably have more contextual results that are catered to demographics in that area. They know better. Google is just a machine that just takes data in and spits it out. So also we're seeing some privacy-focused alternatives. The DuckDuckGo's, which has a close partnership with Microsoft, Ecosia, and they're gaining some traction. AI direct answers may be seen as something that is a novelty, but it's part of the secret sauce and what makes it great. These regenerative search engines craft answers almost instantly, and when you first use it, it feels like magic. It's something like that "I'm feeling lucky" button we had 20 years ago. As users are shifting away and their behaviors are changing to integrate AI in their workflows, it may be harder for search engines like Google to compete with something that gives you a more natural choice. These search engines and GPTs of the world are starting to be integrated into smartphones with Apple Intelligence and Gemini for Google. This is going to create an arms race because iOS is a huge market for mobile phones. Now, of course, there are some people that may have privacy concerns and they opt out by using alternatives like DuckDuckGo and Ecosia, which focus on privacy with minimal tracking and minimal ads. This is really important when people want to trust the results they're getting from search engines, and sometimes people may feel exploited on Google, and that's a natural shift of things. This is very interesting because you have two things to consider here as well. Google has always been free. It's not free for the advertisers, and they pay out some of their publishers, but that business model has worked. What's different is the ChatGPTs of the world, they have a couple of tiers. They have the free tier, which has limited queries, and also the limited intelligence. You pay a little bit more, you get more smarter models and AIs. You pay even more, you can use it more frequently. And this pay model could be a new way to look at search. Would you pay to have better search results without ads? I would. I'm already paying for ChatGPT. It's one of the best investments you can make for yourself and for your business. Whether you're using it professionally or personally, it's an incredible tool that you should utilize and find ways to make it stand out in your everyday workflow. Now, the integration of AI is happening across multiple platforms. As I said, iOS is integrating more with ChatGPT because they really bombed on their own AI in Surrey. Like it's still awful. They still haven't really done anything, but it's coming, right? It's just a matter of time. Microsoft has been a trailblazer by partnering with ChatGPT early on and including it in their Bing search engine, especially with their Edge browsers, which have a considerable market share. And these devices are likely going to fuel a lot more adoption. And why would you go back? You can set your search engine defaults to a lot of different options. It's only a matter of time when Google dips below 80%. I'm predicting that Google is going to dip below 80% within the next 18 months or so. Asia's market shift is a huge one because Google's dip in Asia is likely contributed to Baidu, which dominates in that region. It indicates regional competitors are successfully addressing critical cultural and linguistic search needs. But you also have to realize that GPT and AIs already out of the box can speak all the languages, and there have been case studies where GPTs created their own languages which were more efficient for it to interact with certain data. You can ask it a question in one language, and for some reason AI will answer it in Chinese because thinking in Chinese will be easier. And that's some profound things that we don't even understand about neural networks and these models, because they're just an extrapolation. They're just a minute sliver of the complexity of all the neurons in the human brain, and we're trying to put that into a box that eventually is going to fit on our desktop. Now, one of the key things is the over-reliance of ads for Google. You know it, I know it. They've really, the whole thing is ads at this point, right? Like where is the search result? It's an ad, right? You always, sponsor, you click something, you're on a VPN, it won't open. Geez Louise. Google's ad-heavy interface is likely frustrating a lot of users, prompting them to explore AI-based engines that focus on delivering content rather than ad clicks. This is an important thing that Google should pay attention to, because if they're going to strive with Gemini, remember, Gemini is not very native to Google search. It pops up here or there if it's relevant, but you have to go to the Gemini website to actually integrate it. That's one extra click. And Google's mission statement is to deliver information in one click. Guys, have you even seen your mission statement? Like, you need to back up, reduce that click. I'm a CMO. This is all we do, is reducing the clicks. Now we're seeing a rising trust in AI models. AI models demonstrate higher accuracy and contextual understanding, and users' trust in these engines as reliable source of information are growing. And the advantage we're seeing that really took Microsoft to $1 trillion is the developers, as Mr. Ballmer would say. Having APIs that allow developers to just plug into these AI models, utilize it in their workflow however they feel at their own discretion, and monetize it is a game changer. The only way us SEOs were able to monetize it is through consulting and effort and communication. Eventually it led us to ads, and those are just some small stepping stones that brought us to AI regenerative search. Users continue to explore niche search engines such as Ecosia, which is a special one, I would say, that has motivation to plant trees and sustainability. There are going to be more and more imitators, because Google really was one of the first ones to create the modern search engine, because they shifted the whole way we look at search. They shifted it to backlinks rather than us focusing on the content and the keywords, and they've really evolved beyond that to have algorithmic models that can evaluate the content and rank you higher. So now, what do you think is the best search engine for you? Have you GPT'd yourself and found out what it says about your business or yourself? Because tell me what AIs think of you, and I'll tell you how you can improve it, because I'm talking about this nonstop, because this new frontier is here. It's weeks away, not months, not years. It's here. Thanks for watching, and make sure to like and subscribe.